Good morning, everyone. So let's start off the morning, if you're willing, to unload your laps, uncross your legs, put your feet on the floor, and just get grounded. And if you haven't turned your phones off yet, you might want to do that. So in this moment, let's take a deep breath together. And as we exhale love. A loving energy out into the universe, out to each other. We are so blessed to be here together this morning in this beautiful environment. The weather is perfect. Our hearts are beating. Life is good. And as you sit for a moment and just listen to your own breath, and know the magnificence that you are. We thank each and every one of you for being present today and bringing your love and your joy to this space. And for that, we are truly grateful. Amen. So, I saw this analogy from a friend, and it made so much sense, so I'm now going to share it with you. A bottle of water at Costco is 25 cents. That same bottle in the supermarket is worth about 50 cents. That same bottle at a bar costs $2. And in a good restaurant or hotel, it can be worth up to $3. At an airport or on the plane, you may be charged $5. The bottle and the brand is the same. The only thing that changes is the place. Each place gives us a different value to the same product. When you feel like you are worth nothing and everyone around you belittles you, change places. Do not stay there. Have the courage to change places and go to a place where you are given the value you deserve. Surround yourself with people who really appreciate your worth. Don't settle for less.
Inspiration moment number 2 for this morning is identity. The true self of you, the Christ, spiritual man, is the individualization of God. You are the presence of God at the point where you are. Thus it is true of you as it was of Jesus. I and the Father are one. You are an individualized part, but the whole is always in the part, thus God is within you. However, God is not in you in the sense that a raisin is in a bun. That is not unity. God is in you as an ocean is in a wave. The wave is nothing more nor less than the ocean expressing as a wave. Sometimes in the study of metaphysics, we are so zealous to erase the idea of a personal God that we talk of God as mind, God as principle, God has substance, but we do not emphasize God as me. Even when we refer to God as mind, it is mind somewhere. We may use affirmations in place of the old form of supplicatory prayer, but we may still be reaching out and straining up to God out there. Though God is not a person, yet God is personal. There is nothing impersonal about God mind in me. It is my mind at the point of God mind, but it is my mind. I am sustained by the life principle, but that principle is expressing as me. It is my life. It is me. This is the great unitive idea that Jesus taught. I and the Father are one. Not two, but one. The Father in me is me on a higher dimension of living. And the affirmation that we can say together 3 times is, I am sustained by God, the life principle, and that principle is expressing as me. I am sustained by God, the life principle, and that principle is expressing as me. I am sustained by God, the life principle, and that principle is expressing as me. And
The power of now, isn't it? It's just the whole concept. Man, if we lived like that every day, can you imagine what your life would really be like? In the moment, right here, right now, just right here. Just right here. Right here. And nothing else. I might learn it one day before I die. So, I am so glad to be here again. It's so good to see everybody. I love my home away from home. It's so good to see everyone. When Kim reached out to me to ask me to come and speak, of course, we have a little discussion, but not necessarily on what to talk about. But now that we've got the power of now, I'm going to talk about rising from the mud. It's the way of the lotus. So I had this experience recently. I used to minister at a Unity church in Abilene. For about 8 months, I supported that church after their minister had passed. And so I continue to go back there because I have quite a few friends there. And recently I went back, and the two ladies that I hang out with, we decided to go to San Angelo. If you've not been to San Angelo, you need to go to San Angelo. It is the cutest place ever. But one of the main things they have there is an international lotus garden. And it is stunning. And we happened to go when they were blooming. And so I'm walking along, and they're built up. It's cemented around, but there's like 10 or 12 different areas, and they're all lotuses, but all different colors, and all blooming at different times. So you got just mud, and then you have those that are just budding, and then those that are fully in bloom, and it is just amazing. So today we turn our attention to the sacred image of the lotus. You ever thought about that? Oh, I love lotuses. Is that right? Lotuses? I love lotuses. So in the teachings of Buddha, the lotus is not just a flower. Listen to this now. It is a mirror held up to our own lives. Wrap your head around that one. The lotus begins its journey in mud. Okay? Did you know that? Most of you probably know that. It's a massive, that's a great word, right? Massive stuff. And it's ugly, and it's dark water, and it's ugly. It's not in clear water, not in perfect conditions, but in murky, dense, unseen depths. And yet from that very place it rises, slowly. This is the part I don't have, the slowly part, the lack of patience, but slowly. Steadily until one day it breaks the surface and it blooms, untouched by the water, radiant in its fullness. This is the Dharma speaking to us. Now, for those that you do not know, let me just kind of share a little bit. I'm an ordained interfaith minister, and what that means is that I've studied all the religions that we know of today. There's probably more now, but at the time I did my studies. And part of my studies, once I finished the book study and the testing and everything, they said, go out there and find the religion and have them teach you everything they know. And so one of my main connections was with the Buddhist temple in Arlington, of all places. But there was one. And I went over there and let them know that I was there. I didn't have glitter on that day, but you would have thought so, because I'm here. And all these quiet little monks are standing there looking at me going like, oh my God. But we connected. And the next thing I knew, I was meditating daily for at least 15 to 20 days, starting out, and then meditating weekly and doing studies with a group of other individuals that were wanting to learn. One of the experiences I had was they took me to Thailand for 6 weeks. And I got to meditate in the mountains of Chiang Mai with the monks. And it was miserable. Oh, my Lord. I tell stories. So they truly, meditation is important. It's one of the most important things to be able to stay in the now, which is truly the test. And so we'd start out meditating at 4:30 in the morning and meditate to 6:30. And then we students, there were 19 of us, and all of us were from a different country. I was the only American, and the other China, Japan, England, different places. So it was very fascinating trying to communicate with other people that didn't speak the same language. It was amazing. All of it was amazing. Anyway, the point being is we were given jobs. Part of that was we would meditate, we'd feed the monks, we'd meditate, we'd feed the monks, we'd meditate, we'd meditate, we'd meditate. And then we would have jobs. And one of my jobs was they had a pond right outside of the retreat center where we were staying, and it was ugly. But it was a lotus pond. And they put me in a boat and made me clean up the mess. And it was amazing. So Buddha taught that life includes what they call dukkha. I call dookie, same stuff. Anyway. Difficulties, suffering, dissatisfaction. Like the mud, these are not obstacles. This is the part I love. These are not obstacles to awakening. They are the very conditions from which awakening becomes possible. And I see that in a whole different perspective. So I'm sitting in that boat cleaning dookie out. I don't know another word to say, but it was nasty. It was slimy, it was nasty and everything. And to read it this way and the opportunity to be able to see what this gift could be amongst the murk and the mire, again, it's the very conditions from which awakening becomes possible. Now, how often do we think that way when we're in our dukkha? So we often believe we must escape the mud before we can bloom. Oh, if I have a good job, it's going to be great. I'm going to be happy. The sun's going to be shining. All is good. When my life is perfect, when my house is clean, it'll be just more perfect. Then I will find peace. But the challenge for me, and the wisdom of this is, but the lotus tells a different story. The mud is not the problem. I didn't think that at the time I was cleaning the pond, but the mud is not the problem. The mud is the path. Every hardship, every grief, every moment of confusion, these are the nutrients of wisdom when held with awareness. You got to wake up first, right? Be awake to what's going on. Be in the present moment. Stay in that present moment. And be aware that whatever is going on outside of us is more of wisdom to try and teach us how to be fully who we are meant to be. A magnificent, incredible, loving child of God with that energy within us, that godlike energy. So there is no muck and mire. Through mindfulness, we begin to see clearly. Through compassion, we soften toward what is difficult. Through wisdom, we understand that nothing is wasted. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had a few days lately that I haven't really followed this. Yes, I am still human. The Buddha also taught impermanence, or what they say, anicca. The lotus does not cling to the mud, and we cling to the mud. I don't know about y'all, but I got stories that go back 42 years I'm still holding on to, and I had no idea why. They're not even fun stories anymore. So the lotus does not cling to the mud, nor does it cling to its bloom. It opens fully, knowing that its petals too will fall eventually. But does it care? Not really. So in this way, the lotus teaches us how to live, to rise without rejecting where we came from. How many of you are willing to do that? Oh my God, the trauma I have had in my life. My parents were so mean. It wasn't their fault. I now know they did the very best they could. To bloom without grasping at what we become. Wherever I am right now. Oh, and I'm in a season. I was told recently I'm in a season. Whatever that means. I'm going to be 70 in July. I'm in a season. Okay. So I'm in a season, meaning that I may not be where I hoped I would be at this time, but I am where I am. Embrace it, celebrate it, acknowledge it, and be okay with it. And I'm there. Thank you, God. Let go without fear of what will pass. And that's that control that humans have. As long as I'm in control, nothing's going to go wrong. Oh, well. Truly, I mean, think about that. It's interesting, and I know when I point a finger at somebody else and I say, oh, what a control freak, there's 3 coming back at me going, yeah, right. However, the awareness that I am a control freak and that I know better and I know why I am, and I'm doing the best I know how to do right now to control that. Wait a minute. That's not quite right. To bless it and to love it and to embrace it and know it's a part of me and it's okay. Right? And perhaps most profoundly, the lotus teaches purity not as perfection, but as freedom. Pure freedom. If we can be in the moment now and let our little buds come up through the dookie, I don't know, and allow ourselves to blossom where we are, just as we are, wow, what a gift. Wouldn't that be a great gift? And not be so hard on ourselves. That's been a big one for me. I have the dictation in my head. You're so dumb. Why do you do the same crap over and over and over again? You think you'd learn one day, for God's sakes, you're going to be 70 this year. And then I say, thank you, you jerk. Not literally, I'm kidding. I say thank you, and then I realize I need to back it up and say it with love and grace. Because I'm doing the very best I can in the moment right now, as you are too. Though it grows in muddy water, its petals remain unstained. And that's the fascinating part, because if you saw a picture in the water, it is disgusting. Again, murky, muddy, all sorts of gross stuff. But right in the middle of that murky is that beautiful flower, a gorgeous, gorgeous flower. When we were in, I'm going back to Abilene now, they had red ones, they had red blooms, they had pink ones, they had peach ones, they had red and peach ones. I mean, colors I've never seen before. Burgundy, one that almost looked black, but it was so purple that it almost looked black. It's just unbelievable. So this heart of the path, not to create a life free from difficulty, but to cultivate a mind that is no longer entangled in it. That's the goal. We're always going to have the murky. We're always going to have the muddy water. But it's how we embrace it and how we deal with it that is the main goal for me, I would think. I love this. This is the heart of the path. But just no longer being entangled with it. And as I get older, I hope to gosh I never lose the childlike essence that I have. But I know I got to mature somewhat. So my husband says. Anyway, I love the fact that I could stand there. I could have spent hours and having experienced what I did in Thailand in the boat, cleaning that up, and then standing there witnessing these flowers blooming in the essence of yuck and looking, there are no words, they were just gorgeous. And they stand there proud, man. They just, yeah. Anyway, so you can be in the world and not be overwhelmed by it. Any of you overwhelmed right now? Oh my goodness. You can experience pain and not become defined by it. What a concept. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And we can. We really can. But you got to be in the moment, and you got to wake up, and you got to stay awake. Now, I know I've awoken many times. I casually go back to sleep. Thank goodness I don't stay as long as I used to. But, again, human, and it's okay. However, I'd rather be very attentive, awake, what's going on in the moment, being present to it, trying not to be overwhelmed. And I have been lately. But it's been amazing for me, because, y'all, I'm all over the place, if you can't tell. I squirrel a lot. Squirrel. Anyway, and it's been interesting because personal experience, I have my own business, but there's not a whole lot going on right now. I published a book. I've been trying to market it. There's not a whole lot going on right now. My beloved husband was the breadwinner, and he has since been released from his position. So we go from one extreme to the other and try to be supportive of each other while we're being depressed. You know what I mean? And it's been a fascinating education. Some days are great and some suck, man. The other day I came home, God love him. And let me say this, I'm going to say this too. My mother died April 5th. My mother's birthday is May 6th, and then there's Mother's Day. So April and May, I look at my husband and go, I'll be out of the bedroom in June. But I know the other day I came home and I just looked at him, I walked past him, I said, don't ask, I'm going to bed. And I did. And I stayed there all day long. And it was perfect because it was raining too. I love that part. Yeah. Oh, when it's raining, it's cool. It gives me permission to be able to go to bed and take care of myself. I don't feel guilty then. So, like the lotus, you can rise. Like the lotus, we can rise. So I invite you for just a moment to reflect. What is the mud in your life right now? You may not have any, and that's wonderful. What's the mud in your life? Can you see it not as something to escape, which is what I've been trying to do, but as something that is shaping your awakening? That's cool to look at it differently, huh? Instead of sitting there depressed and upset and going, oh my God, what am I going to do? Ooh, what a challenge. Man, let's take a look at this one. What would it mean to trust that even here, especially here, you are growing? Are we growing? Yes. Say yes. This is my piece of challenge. The path of the lotus is patient. It does not rush, and it does not compare. Another piece of personal information. The husband is doing what the husband needs to do to take care of us and him and all this, and he's looking for work. I'm over here, as some of you know, Lynn and I have the largest Betty Boop collection in the world. We're in Guinness Book. I know, should everybody go, what? But we do. And I'm in the process of finding a building for us to open up a museum. There's not an existing museum in the world, and it's all in our house. So So we have over 5,500 pieces. We got a 52 Chevy convertible Betty Boop car. I dress up as Betty. He drives around and we do our thing. But the point is I found a house in Galveston, 1893. It survived the 1900 hurricane in Galveston. Hardwood floors, I mean, it is phenomenal. And I just happened to come by it one day when I was in Galveston doing my road trip thing. And I'm in the process now. They've asked for a business plan. I had to send it to Galveston, City of Galveston, for them to okay us to use that house as a museum. And we're waiting to hear from them. If they okay it, the next step is money, grants. But I'm over here doing this, he's over there doing that, and we coincide and talk and discuss, and some days it's wonderful, and I'm thinking, okay, he may be living in Dallas working, and I'm going to be in Galveston running the place. Not really, but kind of, you know. Oh, hello, sorry. But the point being is, what would it mean to trust that even wherever you are and whatever is going on for you, especially here, you are growing? I have no idea what's going to happen with us right now. I don't have a clue. Thank God we have a house. We do have a home, and we got a roof over our head, and we are very blessed. Very blessed. The path of the lotus, again, is patient. That is not what I have at this moment, but I'm claiming it now. It does not rush. It does not compare. And that's the thing about it. If you'll just tell me what I need to do next, then everything's going to be fine. But leave me hanging, then I'm in my own head, and oh, my Lord, we're in trouble. Thank God y'all don't get in my head, because it'd be a whole different world. It simply responds to the conditions of each moment and rises. That's it. Each moment and rise. Take another step, take another breath, each moment and rise. May we have the courage to grow where we are planted. May we trust the unseen, the process that's going on within us. May we bloom fully, compassionately, and freely. Thank you. Meditation.
Thank you so much, Jen,
You're welcome.
for your inspirational message, always.
You're welcome. Do I meditate? I'm doing meditation now. So y'all, again, if you feel comfortable uncrossing your legs, putting your feet on the floor and feeling the grounding, the connection. And I'm going to invite you to become the lotus. So invite your body to settle. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. Allow your spine to rise naturally, like a stem reaching upward, and let your shoulders soften. Release the stress, the anxiety, and if it feels comfortable, gently close your eyes. Now bring your awareness to the breath. Don't change it. Don't control it. Just notice your breath. You're breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now imagine yourself as the lotus. At first, you are beneath the surface, resting in the mud. Now, the mud represents everything in your life that feels heavy, uncertain, painful, or unresolved. Do not push it away. Just keep breathing. And instead, gently acknowledge it. Silently say to yourself, this too belongs. This too belongs. Feel that even here, something within you is alive. Something within you is growing. Now, with each breath in, Imagine a subtle upward movement, a quiet rising, not forced and not rushed, just a natural unfolding. Breathing in, rising, breathing out, softening. You begin to move through the water. Clearer now, clearer and clearer, lighter and lighter. And then you reach the surface. Gently and slowly you begin to bloom. Petal by petal, feel that. There's no striving here. There's no comparison. No need to be anything other than what you are. Just opening. Rest in that feeling of openness for a few minutes. Just breathe in and breathe out. Rest in the truth that your life, just as it is, contains everything needed for awakening. If thoughts arise, let them pass like the ripples in the water. Return to the breath. Return to the quiet blooming. Now bring your awareness to your heart. Sense a natural compassion for yourself, for your journey, for all beings rising from their own mud. And silently offer, may I trust my unfolding. May I be gentle with what is difficult. May I awaken just as I am. May all beings find peace. May all beings rise. May all beings bloom. Take one more slow, mindful breath in and a long, soft breath out. And when you're ready, gently return. Bringing the sense of calm and quiet strength with you. Namaste.